she only had herself to blame. Edda had heard about the work of the Dutch resistance and wanted to get involved, to do more than just wash bandages and serve food to patients in the hospital where she volunteered after school. And she knew that the doctor there, Dr. Hendrik Visser uit Hoofd, was an important figure in the resistance. When she'd approached him, Dr. Visser uit Hoofd was unsure about her offer of help. Edda was just a young girl. "Do you really want to get involved in such dangerous work?" he asked. But Edda was determined. So Dr. Visser uit Hoofd gave her a test. He asked her to memorise 5 addresses, which she did easily. So then he challenged her to remember 10. Again, this was easy for Edda. "You have a fine memory," he commented. "It's from ballet," Edda told him. "We have to remember dozens of positions and moves. We have to have good memories." The doctor smiled. "Then I have the perfect job for you," he said. "I would like you to deliver resistance newsletters to multiple addresses if you can." Edda scowled now at that memory, still waiting for the train to leave and the barrier to rise. She had been so naive to imagine she could do this. More than naive, she had been stupid. Boasting about how she had a good memory because of her dance classes. Seriously? A soldier stopped in front of her. His gloved hand on her handlebars made Edda want to push him away. "ID?" he demanded. Edda handed the card to him, and he checked it, squinting at the photograph. Then he glanced at her bag. "Bag, open." Edda felt like she might be sick, but she had no choice other than to lift her satchel off her shoulder. She handed it to the soldier and looked down the platform, trying to distract herself from the fear that made her feel like she might collapse. She could see more German soldiers forcing people onto a train. The people looked familiar. They were local. She recognised some. They had suitcases. The children seemed to be crying. Edda realised that some of the adults were crying too. But she was too scared for herself at that moment to think clearly about what was happening on the platform. "What is this?" the soldier asked, lifting some sheets of paper out of her bag. Edda turned back to face the soldier and looked him in the eye, trying to pretend she had nothing to hide. "Schoolwork?" She could hear her voice wavering. After a few moments, the soldier handed the sheets back and moved on to the next person. Edda took in a fast, deep breath, then slowly exhaled, relieved that she had decided not to carry the illegal newsletters in her bag. Trembling, she looked again at the train, seeing the distressed faces of the passengers staring back at her. Where were these people being taken? She had heard the rumours. Some were transported to Germany as slave labour, mainly young Dutch men over the age of 18, but others were taken to huge camps where many of them were murdered. Could it be true? Edda shuddered. She hated the Nazis, hated what they had done to the Netherlands and to people that she loved, to her family. Her older brother Alex had been forced into hiding, and she could hardly bear to think about what had happened to her uncle Otto. No, this wasn't the time to think about these things. She had to stay sharp. She had to make a choice, now, and it was a difficult one. When the barrier lifted, would she give up this madness of delivering newsletters and just go home where she would be safe? Or could she find the courage to carry on and deliver them, even if it meant putting herself through more of this almost unbearable fear? 2. Her heart pounding now the barrier had been raised, Edda cycled over the railway tracks and past half a dozen German soldiers on the other side. She heard laughter and realised that the soldiers were mocking the people staring helplessly from the train. Now anger overwhelmed Edda. She couldn't do anything to stop these disgusting men laughing, or to help the people who'd been forced onto the train. But she could spread news of the resistance. Pass the story on. Cycling hard, Edda found the street that she'd been asked to visit and hid her bicycle within a large bush. A chilly breeze ruffled the bush as she did so, causing the leaves to tremble. Sitting on the pavement, but hidden by the foliage, Edda removed the newsletters that she'd stuffed down the side of her oversized wool socks. Her mind was made up. She would find the courage she needed. There was no one about as Edda moved stealthily through the front gardens of the houses she was to deliver to. She slipped between rose bushes and leaped over vegetable patches in which people grew their own potatoes and greens to make up for the food shortages. This ability